Speedball was responsible for kicking off the Marvel Civil War that pitted Marvel's mightiest against each other. You're about to find out why and witness Speedball's descent and how he became Penance. Behind the goofy name and brightly colored costume is one of the darker character arcs in Marvel history. He went from Saturday morning cartoon to Iron Maiden cosplay trauma icon in the span of a few years. Long before Robert Baldwin was hanging with the New Warriors or even the Thunderbolts, he was just a science intern. A lab experiment gone sideways blasted him with kinetic energy from a parallel dimension, and boom! He becomes a walking, talking, bouncing physics experiment. Every time he hit something, he absorbed the energy and bounced off harder, protected by his aura. His first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 22, where he helped Spider-Man and Daredevil take on the High Evolutionaries' Purifiers by disabling a transmitter that was attached to the Empire State Building, almost getting himself killed in the process, but getting a last-minute save from the wall crawler. Eventually, he found his people, the New Warriors. With them, Speedball thrived. He fought cosmic baddies like Terrax, powerhouses like Juggernaut, and even discovered he was basically the physical embodiment of motion. But eventually, all teams drift. Nova returned to space. Secret identities were exposed by street gangs, and Robbie bounced, literally, into side gigs, even running into Jessica Jones and Alias, who called him washed up and implied he was screwing up on purpose. Trying to jumpstart his career, Robbie rebooted the New Warriors as some sort of superpowered reality series, complete with a television crew on hand to document their exploits. But then came the moment. During a televised mission, the team confronted a group of villains that had escaped from Rikers a few months prior, one of them being Nitro, a guy whose sole purpose is to transform his body into a living bomb. So he did just that and detonated. The resulting blast killed 612 civilians, including 60 children. It was horrifying, and it was the spark that ignited Marvel's Civil War. Robbie survived, but not in any way you'd want. The kinetic feedback from the blast launched him over 500 miles away, burning out his powers as well as his sanity. Crushed by guilt, Robbie became something new, something terrifying. He became Penance. Penance's suit is nothing but unadulterated pain. 612 spikes, one for every person who died in Stamford. 60 of those spikes pointing inward, constantly piercing his skin because his powers required pain now. This wasn't a costume. It was a confession, a punishment, and a cry for help. He joined the Thunderbolts, eventually tracking down Nitro to Dr. Doom's castle. He fought Doom himself in order to get access to his prisoner. Doom eventually concedes, relinquishing Nitro to Robbie, where he told Nitro to give him his best shot. It wasn't enough, and Penance took out all of his anger on the villain, forcing him to wear his costume and torturing him in the process. But the guilt, it didn't fade. Instead, Norman Osborn drugged and brainwashed him. Eventually, Robbie broke free and slowly, painfully, began to rebuild himself. He returned to being Speedball, but it wasn't the same. As a teacher at Avengers Academy, he seemed better, but appearances lie. Even after reforming the New Warriors with Justice and new blood like Nova and Sun-Girl, that pain was still there. Hummingbird, a psychic, peeked in Robbie's mind, and she didn't see Speedball. She saw Penance, and Penance told her to speak of it to no one and get out of his head. Robert Baldwin is your typical hero. He's not the strongest, not the smartest, but he's endured more pain, physical and emotional, than most. And yet, he still shows up, still fights, still bounces back. That's Speedball. That's Penance. And that's the cost of being a hero who once was a joke and later became a cautionary tale.